It's amazing what's always in the shop. So pretty much at the end of the day, all the cars come in, and it's really cool because while the cars are in, we get to see all the cool stuff that they're working on this week, and it's amazing all the different things we get to see. This is one of the coolest race cars I've ever seen. It's a C8 Corvette. It's got tons of work done to it. Lingenfelter supercharger, a crazy wing that changes direction and it comes up and helps the car stop on the track. This thing makes something like 700 horsepower, and it's a freaking track killer. You walk around in the shop and you see things like a supercharged hardtop convertible with a center exit exhaust or through the bumper exhaust made out of titanium. He's over there, he's the fabricator, he's the one that actually built all that stuff. You walk around, you see, you know, twin turbo parts everywhere. Here's a 800 horsepower crate engine. This thing's amazing. It's just really cool, the different stuff you get to see, even down to off-road bumpers for lifted trucks. I mean, here's an off-road bumper that's being built by Ricky. This thing's pretty cool, and they do suspension upgrades. And you have this thing right here, which is a sequential 6-speed manual. This thing is amazing, and it's going into this race car, which is built for 1,000 horsepower. Really quick, I want to stop and see what Ricky's doing. He's always welding something amazing.
I weld the insides of them first. That way...
Yeah, those awesome welds.
Yeah, that way when I go and weld the top, it like looks neat. Because if you weld the top first and then you weld the bottom weld kind of cooks the top weld and then it makes it look like junk. Not that it matters, but it just bothers me.
Yeah, you just want to see the nice part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, it's so good.
Yeah, mild steel looks gross compared to stainless. That's why the rod looks like it's like bronze. But that's how like a mild steel weld, TIG weld should look.
It's amazing all the things they work on. Look at this crazy Resto Mod Camaro, and the really cool thing is there's actually another Resto Mod Camaro. These have LS engines in them, full suspensions, crazy braking systems, upgraded tires, upgraded brakes. I mean, you name it, it's got it. And they even work on Silverados. The cool thing about this Silverado is it actually has a 10-speed automatic swap and a supercharger system that was designed in-house by ECS. How cool is this thing? So this supercharger kit can bring a Silverado up over 600 horsepower. This one's set up for like the 650 horsepower range, but they can do upwards of 1,000 horsepower on a Silverado with the same kit, or they can upgrade the head unit, upgrade the engine internally. You can go over 1,000 horsepower. What's really cool about ECS is there's a CNC machine on site, and what's really nice is when you're buying ECS parts, you're getting them from ECS, built by ECS. It's really cool because then you get the really cool things like these chassis braces for a C8. You get custom pulleys for supercharger units. You get custom bracketry. You get literally manifolds that need to be made. Since everything is made in-house, let's say you have to make a change, they could just make the change in the computer and then machine a new piece, and it's done within an hour. Even down to, this is a manifold that was designed for the twin turbo setup, and these are the beginning of the header system that's used on the C8 Corvette. So it's just really cool seeing all this stuff here. The thing I always think about is, if you have a Corvette and you need work done to it, a lot of people think, let me go to the dealership. The problem with the dealership is they might work on one Corvette pretty much maybe a month or maybe 5 a month, because here ECS eats, sleeps, and breathes Corvettes and most General Motors vehicles.
East Coast Supercharging has been around for almost 25 years. You can't think about a Corvette without thinking about ECS. Contact us today so we can get your car across the finish line. Check out ecsgarage.com.
You know what's awesome? I'm shooting a Camaro video today, and this amazing car is sitting in the parking lot getting ready to be worked on. How nice is this thing? Now, I remember like 25 years ago when I was in high school, I always had Camaros and my friends always had Mustangs. So we would always argue over which is the better car until I discovered Boost. When I first discovered superchargers, I was addicted from day one, and I couldn't wait to race my friends and blow the doors off their dumb Mustangs. Man, this supercharged looks amazing. We're gonna take this thing on the road so you can see how it drives, and we're gonna show you some dyno numbers so you can see what kind of power this thing makes. So they just got back, they hooked the car up on the dyno, and the next thing they're gonna be doing is seeing how much power the car makes. What they just did was, after they completed the install, they took the car on basically a road test, and during the road test, they tuned the vehicle for the proper air-fuel ratio. Now that the air-fuel ratio is corrected, what they're gonna do is put it on the dyno and then run it for max power, safe power, to see what kind of power they can get out of the supercharger, and the correct air-fuel ratios for wide open throttle. So right now, Doug is getting the car set up on the dyno. What he has to do is calibrate the dyno, get it set up for the weight of the car, and then he'll be able to do some pulls. So this is a really nice setup. I really like the fit and finish of it. This is an ECS exclusive, and you can get it at ecsgarage.com.
I'm following your lead, I'm following Visit ECSGarage.com to upgrade your GM V8 powered cars, trucks, projects, and race builds. Home of the world's fastest cars.
You bought yourself a C8 Corvette, and you have a neighbor who has a Ferrari that makes fun of you all the time because their car's faster and more expensive. So then you start thinking to yourself, what can you do to make this car better to have your neighbor basically respect you a little bit more, or be able to shut him up because you're tired of listening to him? What you can do is add boost. The good thing about the C8 Corvette is it's powered by an American V8. When you add good old boost to it, it makes power. So the question now is, do you want twin turbos or do you want a supercharger? And that's the point of the video today. This is one of my favorite parts. I love it when a car has stock horsepower and then you go throw some go fast parts on it and it makes it faster. I can't wait to see what kind of power it makes. So these cars from the factory make 480 horsepower, and to the wheels I think they make, I forget, it's over 400 to the wheels. So this thing's gonna have a big boost in power. I can't wait to see what it makes. These cars are amazing. I mean, how could you not want one? And the cool thing is, because there's a Chevy V8 in the back, you can boost these things just like you could any other Corvette and still beat a Ferrari. So don't let your neighbor or your friends make fun of you that have money or that have a really cool Ferrari, because at the end of the day, you put a little bit of money into a C8 and it's a supercar killer. This thing's amazing. Whether it's turbos or a Magnuson supercharger, these things are epic. This car makes me want to go to the racetrack, but I would be so stoked to have something like this just sitting in my garage. And I would make fun of a guy with a Ferrari if I owned this thing. Hopefully you're as excited as I am. Comment below with what you think. Supercharger, turbochargers, or completely stock. Me personally, I love superchargers. This thing is insane. And if I were going to get a C8 for myself, it'd be just like this. East Coast Supercharging has been around for almost 25 years. You can't think about a Corvette without thinking about ECS. Contact us today so we can get your car across the finish line. Check out ECSGarage.com. East Coast Supercharging has been around for almost 25 years. You can't think about a Corvette without thinking about ECS. Contact us today so we can get your car across the finish line. Check out ECSGarage.com. East Coast Supercharging has been around for over 40 years. You can't think about a Corvette without thinking about ECS. Contact us today so we can get your car across the finish line. Check out ECSGarage.com. We just wanted to let our fans and customers know that there is a new red carbon fiber air intake for the C7 Corvette, and we can install this and dyno tune the car to get the maximum performance out of your C7. We also have a ZR1 version available, and you can get both in the black carbon or the red carbon from ECSgarage.com. Hopefully everyone's just as excited for these parts as we are. Hi everybody, welcome to the East Coast Supercharging YouTube channel. So what I'm doing today is showcasing the new twin turbo setup that ECS offers. This version that you're looking at is the intercooled version for a factory intake manifold car. We have packages with this kit that range from 700 horsepower all the way up to 1500 horsepower. And this kit is so powerful that you actually don't even have to change out any of the turbocharger parts. You just have to change a few other things like camshafts, intake manifold. We have a billet intake manifold for higher boost. We have some other upgrades that go along with the higher horsepower packages, but we just wanted to showcase the welds and the package bolted to the engine, bolted to the car, show off the intercooler, show you what it sounds like, show you what it looks like, and show how amazing this package is. Anybody that gets this on their C8 Corvette is going to be a very happy person, because when you see a Ferrari, they're going to end up being in your rearview mirror pretty much every single time. So if everybody wants to stay tuned to the YouTube channel and watch us develop this kit even more, and we'll be posting up tons of videos of us going to the racetrack and updating and upgrading every possible thing. We even have axles, we have clutches for the transmission, we have internal engine parts that make power. We have everything you would need to bring your C8 to the next level.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never really said no, man, I still go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave.
We have a new segment at the East Coast Supercharging YouTube channel called Meet the Crew, but if you'd like to see what Ricky is up to, follow Wreck-It Richard on Instagram today.
Runners and just weld it all together.
What is so with back purging, right? So I know you can oxidize the welds and stuff. Oh, that's a little hot. But
Yeah.
with back purging, what is the reason for the back purge?
So basically, like if you welded with the gas off, I'm sure you know if you welded before, it would
Yeah.
it, like oxidizes
Keeps
like
you out-
super
right.
fast. So since there's like usually there's fit up gaps, like small gaps here and there. So if you didn't run gas through the inside of it would get that gross sugared like dark gray.
Oh yeah,
look.
and you'll start getting that in your
Yeah,
turbo and
whereas
stuff.
like these, like if you look in the inside of them,
Yeah, it
like,
looks nice
you-
and clean.
Yeah, you don't see all that grossness.
Yeah, it's cool. Like I knew the gas pulls the oxygen out of the equation, but I never knew why you had the back purge. My gut was telling me, I didn't learn as a welder. I just learned for myself
Right.
how to do this. So it was to keep it from oxidizing internally, and I guess that's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same
Just
thing.
A less technical term.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's basically you flow argon through it, and you're really trying to like push the oxygen out. So like it's okay that it has all these small gaps. If it didn't have all these small gaps, you would actually need a vent hole at the end because you need somewhere for the oxygen to escape.
Well, that makes sense.
So,
oh,
so
wow,
it's not
okay.
so much
Yeah,
of
that
just
makes
filling
sense.
it with argon, it's to get all the oxygen out
Yeah,
of the pipe too.
That's cool.
East Coast Supercharging has been around for over 40 years. You can't think about a Corvette without thinking about ECS. Contact us today so we can get your car across the finish line. Check out ECSgarage.com. In this video, we're going to show you how to get your C5, your C6, and your C7 Corvette differential built up even stronger for drifting and drag racing, so you can have your wheels spinning consistently at all times and have your differential lock in place for better lap times and even more smoke.
These are the factory stock clutches. Okay, so what these do is you go around a corner, you have a clutch material, and it allows the diff to slip, so your inner wheel will spin less than the outer wheel. In a racing scenario, or especially a drift scenario, we want to have everything locked together. And so essentially what we do is we install our spool kit, which doesn't allow any slip, and the wheels are locked side to side. Excellent for drag racing, drifting, anytime you do not want your wheels to slip side to side. We're removing a 1/2 inch of clutches, and we're installing a 1/2 inch of non-clutches. Now also, this is a common failure on the clutch packs. This is a bevel washer, and it puts the pressure on these clutch packs. It's common that these will crack. You'll lose all your tension on it, and then you've lost all the pressure on your clutch packs. Once that happens, you don't have long. The bevel washer is still going to stay here, just so it puts pressure in here. But now that there's no slip, there's no real wear on this washer anymore, so you'll never have to worry about it breaking. We've never had one break yet.
East Coast Supercharging has been around for almost 25 years. You can't think about a Corvette without thinking about ECS. Contact us today so we can get your car across the finish line. Check out ECSgarage.com.